Alright folks, welcome to Premium Fuel Magazine, and for the very first time with this build, welcome to Stu's Garage. The Miata is home for the very first time, and we're going to be doing some work on it today. So we just got the Miata back from Pop Pop's garage. We got the roll cage put in, and pretty much the car is just a mess right now, just from all the work being done in it. And we're going to get this thing cleaned up and get the interior all painted. We have a few loose ends that we need to tie up. And then the car is going to go back over to Thomas's house, and we're going to continue to make progress on it from there. Alright guys, it got a little bit fumy in here with all the paint and brake cleaner fumes and the heater running. It got a little bit bad, so got to put a respirator on, use your PPE, be safe. So anyways, we've got the primer down right now. This is just the first layer. So actually this is the self-etching primer that I really like to use. I feel like it holds a little bit better, it holds paint better. The primer is actually the same color that the interior of the car is going to be, or very close. So I'm going to do the interior green just like the engine bay. Notice I'm going to do the door jambs as well. According to the TV shows, the door jambs is a sign of a very high quality paint job. So you know the type of quality you're getting here with this paint job. And just giving it a few minutes for it to dry up a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and hit this thing with the first, hopefully only coat of green, and then gloss, and then we're going to try and do the cage. Alright, so this is actually coming out really well. I actually bought paint for the cage, but I found this down in the basement. This is actually the same exact paint that I used on the drift box, and you can't buy this stuff anymore. So there's a little bit left in each can, and I'm hoping that it's enough to get this job finished. I think it will be. That one can that I used went pretty far, so I'm really hoping that this can will be enough to get everything finished. Alright guys, just finished up painting everything. This came out way better than what I thought it was going to be. It's actually exactly how I wanted it to be. Like I said before, this color is really cool because this is exactly what I have in the drift box, and the green matches the engine bay. So last thing we're going to do tonight is throw a clear coat over top of everything. I've got a few different bottles of clear, and then we're going to start tackling some other things tomorrow, like cleaning up these doors. I have to come up with a solution to be able to slide the windows back in, just so that the car won't be exposed to elements while it's open. And there might be one or two other things before we package the car back up, take it back to Thomas's house. Also, this video today is sponsored by Grandma. Grandma gave me a gift card to Lowe's, and that's how I bought all the paint. So that was 3 cans of primer, 3 cans of green, 2 leftover cans of the gold for the cage, but I did actually buy another color, so I had 3 cans of that, and I had a lot of clear left over from other projects. So shout out to Grandma. Thank you very much. All right, folks, it's a new day here in Stu's garage. as you saw 2 seconds ago, really just reminding myself, but we went ahead, we got everything painted, we painted the cage, we painted the interior. So today we're gonna do a little bit of cutting on the doors. I wanna clean up all these jagged edges right here. It's not really good to have jagged edges anywhere that you're working in your workspace or anything like that. So, plus I like things to look nice and neat and tidy. So we're gonna shave all of that down, and I have to cut a couple of access ports in the transmission tunnel for me to be able to service things. I know that the proper way to do this would have been to do all my cutting before I did the paint, but I really just had to get in here last night and get the painting done. Otherwise it wasn't gonna get done. I was just short on time. So it doesn't matter, because all of this stuff is gonna end up getting dinged and chipped at some point anyway, just from regular wear and tear, getting in and out of the car. So it's not really a big deal. This isn't a show car, this is a functional piece. So let's go ahead and just get to it. Alright guys, so we got the door squared off nice and pretty. We've got most of our sharp edges all knocked down because we don't want to get cut on this thing. And also, to take further precautions, what I'm going to do, because this edge is still very sharp down here, what I like to do is actually take fuel line hose, cut that down the middle, and actually use that as a trim piece. So I've gone ahead, I've drilled holes all the way down here that I can use to zip tie it on. And I don't have any fuel line, so I'm just going to use this PVC braided style hose. Doesn't make a difference. It's just what I had laying around. And this stuff is actually really difficult and dangerous to try and cut with a razor blade. You can end up cutting yourself really bad. So I've got it here in a vise, and I'm going to use my favorite tool and just slit that down the middle. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much wrapping up at this point. I'm not even sure where I left off, but just been doing a lot of little small stuff that it's easier for me to do here at my house in my garage versus driving an hour to Thomas's house to get done. So once again, last video we left off, you saw what the engine would sort of look like. Now at this point, we've actually got the new water pump on, the cam is in, everything is sealed up, the heads are on properly, the lifters are in, the intake is on. These valve covers, they look really cool with the bare finish on them the way that I just did. These are probably not going to stay with the car. I've got something else special that I'm working on. Hoping that it works out, but we'll see what happens with that. But basically, the engine is almost together. We've got a couple of pieces that we still need to put on the engine. Once again, the Cobra breather element, that's going to have to go through the hood. I was really hoping to get the hood cut and everything before a car goes back to Thomas's house. But I've been putting in, I've probably put 40 hours in on this car within the last 2 to 3 days, and I'm burnt out. I'm just tired. And before I cut the hood, I really want to see that plastic dip off of there. That's just too time consuming. I'm not going to do it. So that will have to be saved for another day. As you saw, the interior is all painted. The cage is painted. Everything's cleaned up. We've got the shifter hole resealed and everything. We've got some foam padding for the cage. So everything is moving along really nicely. Around back, I haven't finished this yet. I may wake up tomorrow morning before I take the car back and finish the taillight panel. But I actually made some awesome custom taillights for that. You're going to have to wait to see those. But you may actually see the whole panel finished by the time this video is over. So pretty much we're going to load this thing up, take it over to Thomas's house. I've been using a lot of restraint not to post any of this on Instagram because Thomas doesn't really know how much work I'm putting in on the car over here. And when it goes back to his house, it's basically going to be a whole different car than what left his house. So I kind of want to get his reaction when we pull up. So I'm going to go to bed because it's like 1 a.m. And then we're going to move the car out of here. All right, guys, we're loaded up and headed back to Thomas's house. I did finish the taillight panel last night. Initially, I wanted it to be black. I kind of know what finish I want on it, but I'm leaving it primered for now just because in case I change my mind, I don't want to do anything that I can't undo. It may end up being red with the rest of the car. And one other thing that I finished up, or got to work on at least, is the new headlight setup. It's too dark for you guys even to see that. All right, we made it to Thomas's house. This is how you unload a car with no brakes. No brakes exist on this thing right now.
Guys, don't do this at home, please. We're literally winging this right now.
We're using a ratchet strap as a snatch block. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna work.
It's actually working pretty good.
Yeah,
we get it
gotta give it a push.
Push it, Stu. Push
All right, there you go.
Frank, stay on the ratchet, man. Get your hand off the thing. There you go.
Are you ready?
Go. All right, there you go. Oh, this is not bad. About to run out of strap, though. Frank. You didn't film me getting pulled over the trailer? Damn it. That worked out. Cool, we didn't die.
All right, guys, so Thomas already took a peek at the car. He doesn't know the extent of the work that we've been doing to it. So let's go ahead and have a look. Pull the tires out the way. But got the whole interior painted, got the whole cage.
I think sick, man.
Painted. Let's go under the hood. What do you think, man? It's almost where your car's at.
It needs an LS.
Minus the LS.
It needs an LS.
Uh-huh.
Could have had an LS. It's okay. It's gonna be very entertaining.
I get to have 4-cylinder power with a V8. That's
perfect.
Ford power right there.
That's about it. That's about it. A little nitrous might help.
Yeah, with V8 sound, nitrous, whatever it gets.